So, we are here. She Speaks podcast. I hope y'all are ready because we are. Want to first thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to us.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and start with some introductions. My name is Shantae Vines, and I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host with Miss Angela.
Hey.
Angela Woods, and then we have Miss Ravella.
Hello.
Yes, Nesbitt. And we are here. She Speaks. Conversations about women that are becoming themselves as we are becoming ourselves. So let's just start with who we are. We go with that?
Yes,
Start with who we are.
yes.
So Miss Angela, who are you? What do you want the listeners to know about Angela?
That's a big old question. So I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a friend. I am a coach. I am a supporter. I am a Christian. I love the Lord. My goal in life really is to provide access to folks, and particularly women and women of color who may not have access. And so I hope the goal for our podcast today is really to open up that bridge and to engender conversations. That's who I am.
I love that, Miss Angela. And Miss Ravella.
Yes. So I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a single mom, a widower. I am a woman of God. I'm an entrepreneur, a solopreneur at that, and I am a exhorter and an encourager. I'm a therapist and a motivator and a speaker and an author. So I am all those things plus so many other things that I probably haven't even mentioned. And I embrace all of those different titles at different points in time in my life. So one of the things that I think about as part of my purpose is really to promote hope. Hope is critically important to me. The science of hope is really important. Wellness and wholeness in all areas of our lives. So I intend to bring that part of all of those parts of who I am to this podcast. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So who am I? I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a therapist. I am a professor, a teacher, a mentor. I am a woman of God. And I'm a podcaster, right? As you are, right?
Yes.
And I am a Black woman.
Mm.
And that within itself is a lot, and it says a lot, which we'll talk about through the course of our episodes, because we are embodied by that through ancestry. So this is really cool. So I want to get into first, which is funny, how did this even get started? Right? Like, if we were to think back to where we were, Nick and Mike's, I think it was Nick and Mike's, right?
Nick and Mike's.
Nick and Mike's.
On North Drive.
Yeah. So who want to get started? Angela?
Okay,
yeah, sure. Yes.
Sure, I'll start.
It's together. What was going
so
on?
well? So
No problem.
yes.
So we were gathering to have a good meal and to commiserate kind of where we were in the world. Lots of things that are happening in our environment that impact women, and particularly women of color. And we do this work every day. And so it was just really for us to just bond and just kind of refocus and realign what we wanted to do next.
Yeah.
And, we had some great food, some great company. And then as we were kind of doing this analysis of where we were, Shantae said, why don't we do a podcast? And then Ravella said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I said, I don't know how to do that, but I'm in. And that's how it happened.
Isn't it beautiful how ideas are generated?
Yes, yes.
Like it wasn't planned, it
At
wasn't
all.
intentional,
Yeah.
in for us in that moment, right? And it just unfolded. It just happened. I feel like that is the epitome of destiny.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And I'm gonna tell y'all, and what I will say is the fact that we felt safe enough to be with each other and safe enough as women to be honest about how we were feeling. Because truth be told, we were feeling kind of empty only because of what was going on as far as our country and some of the changes specific to people of color. And we were like, we're going to eat, but we're going to share how we're feeling. And that is rare.
Absolutely.
It is rare and it's unfortunate, but I'm hoping that our listeners could see that it is doable, that women can get together with no mask, with no titles, chop it up, chill, and be each other's connection and safe place.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it was definitely a moment of safety. And I was just sitting there like, you know what? We got something. The connection was really,
Yes.
really something. And in that moment, and we're going to transition into the purpose of She Speaks. In that moment, we were talking about mentorship and how we became who we were in that time and at that time. So, purpose. What is our purpose? And as y'all can see, Angela is key for us when it comes down to starting us off, right?
Yes.
But Angela, so purpose of She Speaks from your perspective.
Yeah, I think it's multidimensional from my perspective. I think it goes back to what you said when we opened up. It is about examining each of our roles in the journey of becoming the women we're destined to be. And I think that's one piece of it. I think the other piece of it is that we're all multi-generational.
Yes.
But we're cute though.
I know, that's right.
That's important. And we bring a different perspective based on our experiences. We have a lot in common, but there's a lot on each of our journeys that I hope will resonate with folks that are listening to us. But it certainly has brought us together.
For sure.
I think it is an opportunity to provide, a safe space, an open space, an inclusive space for each of us and for those who might be on their journey as well. So I think through this podcast, it's going to evolve as we've evolved. And sharing our experience, I hope will resonate not only with each other, but with many people who might be going along the same path.
Yeah, for sure. Ravella, what do you think? What do you feel the purpose is of She Speaks from your perspective?
Yeah. I feel I totally agree with Angela. I think that's one of the beauties of how we all kind of came together with that level of synergy. I also think that it is a time for us to continue to evolve and support each other in the evolution of who we are and who we are becoming. One of the things that is unmistakable is that this world, this life, the things that are happening around us are happening quickly, and and that things are evolving around us. And if we can sit back and we can look and we can just admire and complain and do all those things, or we can be an active participant in our evolution. Adjusting to what's going on around us. So I see this as a part of that journey. And to Angela's point, like, we will evolve over time. The podcast will evolve over time because change is inevitable. And so we are embracing the change that is before us and willing to have the courageous conversations to do that.
I love it. Yeah. I think, for me, I want our listeners to ride with us, to evolve with us, to see our journey. We all come from different paths. Although, as Angela mentioned, we have so much in common, but I'm hoping that this podcast could assist listeners in saying, you know what, let me see what it is that they're saying and if I can connect.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some insight into what it really means to be a author, or what it really means to be in leadership, what it really means to be a Black woman, what it really means to be a believer. What does it really mean to be a mother or a daughter or a sister? What does it mean to be in your 60s, your 50s, and your 40s, right? I mean,
Right.
it's from a multi-generational lens. And I think the evolution is inevitable. But I'm hoping that, again, the listeners will evolve with us,
Yes.
come with us and evolve with us. So yeah, access, mentorship. When we speak, sometimes we don't even know we dropping nuggets. I'm telling y'all, Angela and Ravella, they be dropping nuggets, and I be in awe. I just be listening, like, yes, because I respect, and I think when we look at it from a multi-generational perspective, I respect that I am the youngest in this group, and I still have so much to learn. And I think the humbleness of that helps me to say, Shantae, at this moment, you are in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You are, you have these titles, but in this moment, you're the youngest and listen when you need to listen. And that is so important. And I want our listeners to understand that you don't have to know everything. And the beauty of who we are as Black people is community, and being able to sit and to learn and to listen and to shed light. So yes, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And Shantae, you drop nuggets all day long.
Every day.
Every day.
All day.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. So okay. Becoming. What does it mean to become oneself? What does it mean to evolve into who you are hoping to be? So who wants to get started? Then I'll go with Ravella.
Yes, Bethel.
Okay, with me, yes. So what does it mean to become?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this question a little differently this morning, and what really landed on my heart was that God created us in his own image.
Mm.
And in that image, there's this level of individuality that we each have. And it's tied to our purpose, and it's tied to our destiny. So the things that I like to do and who I am and my intricacies and my strengths and all of those things are very unique to me. And so when I think about me becoming, I think about me knowing who I am in that way, but also as a reflection of who God created me to be. Because I'm just not going to be like everyone else. Yeah. And I have to, in my becoming, in my evolution, I have to consider all the things about myself, all the things I like, all the things I don't like, all the things that I want to change, all the things that may not be as easy to change. I have to think about those. I have to love all parts of who I am. So another layer of becoming for me is loving all parts of me.
I love that.
So it is an evolution. It is a journey. And I think it's a journey that requires courage and boldness.
I love that. Yes, becoming. Becoming, and we're all doing it. Even here, it just feels like it's freedom.
Yeah.
Miss Angela, becoming.
I just love listening to Ravella because she pings my brain in such a way that makes me think about things not in such a structured perspective, but more from a holistic perspective. And I think in the journey of becoming, I just turned 60 in December. I can't even believe how that even happened because I was 29 like 2 weeks ago.
How do you look in it?
Right.
Okay, you are
as far as you know, you still 20. Well,
that's right.
Thank you very much.
Sticking with it.
And I proudly,
but we're embracing the 60.
I proudly get my Harris Teeter senior discount. But as I think about the decades of my life and where I've come from and where I am now, it's a stark realization to be in a space where you look and you say, I have more time behind me
Mm.
than I do in front of me. So how am I making every day more intentional?
Yeah.
I'm in a space where I have friends and family who have experienced losses, more coming because of the age group. I am in a space where I'm having to think more strategically about how my health shows up in every aspect of my life.
Mm.
I've always been focused on my health, but it's much more important now. I think I'm in a space of becoming to talk about the whole purpose of alignment. So much of my life, even though I've had lots of successes, but it's been out of misalignment, not alignment. Right? You do the things that you're supposed to do because somebody told you you're supposed to do it. And now as I'm stepping into this new decade of my life, my becoming is about myself being in alignment and questioning what that is and being comfortable,
Yeah.
not knowing the answers about that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
I love
also
that.
being more aware of the mind body connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
one of you guys are therapists, and I have a therapist, and she said you need to pay attention to your feelings. You're not feeling your feelings.
Yeah.
And so all of those things wrapped up are kind of on my journey of becoming. It never ends. There's no end to becoming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am a constant learner, and which is why I love having this opportunity to talk with you, so I can continue to learn and to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's so important to emphasize that it doesn't end. People assume that they get to this point in their lives and oh, I've arrived. Like it does not. This part of who we are, it doesn't
No, it
end.
doesn't.
And so many times we don't want the change,
Right.
but life requires the change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And change is inevitable. But for and it's when we're talking about this sense of alignment, I posted something probably, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. It could have been a month ago, but I posted something about literally aligning who I am with and in God, meaning we sometimes look at our professional selves and we separate that from who we are in God. And for me, I really want to get to a place where I'm shedding those things off that I no longer want. That and we'll talk about this probably the next episode as well. But shedding those things or peeling those things off that has attracted itself to me that no longer supposed to be with me. And I had to realize that in becoming oneself, there is no way I can do that without knowing who I am in God.
Yes.
And living in that space and then connecting everything else to that
Yes.
versus the other way around. I love what I do. I love my role as a leader. I love mentorship. I love being a professor. I love all of those things. And it's a blessing to do what you love to do. But I am realizing that I have realized that there is a missing piece. And I'm like, what is that? It's because my alignment is like my becoming, my next step as an empty nester, right? So, and that's also becoming, because that is something I don't think we talk about a lot, is women and men, because they go through it as well, but women who have dedicated their lives to their children and they leave because they grow up and they go to college, so my daughter's 25, my son just turned 20, and he's gone into a sophomore year of college. But that was the most difficult grieving process I have ever had to deal with outside of my divorce. It was the most difficult thing because I gave my whole life to these children. These children was it. I mean, every basketball game, I was, every recital, everything. And when that boy, when my daughter left, I was like, okay, because I had my son. When that boy left, baby, I was like, what am I supposed to do with my life? So it's becoming like I'm in a place where I am becoming myself without the mother title being priority,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mhm.
And then also with that,
Mm-hmm.
you really understand who you are with no distractions,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right?
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
As a mom, as you go and you go to the basket, you know, you go to all the events and you have your active children, when you no longer have distractions,
Mm-hmm.
you're stuck with you.
Yeah.
That's a word right there.
Mm.
Because so many times we find ourselves in these places in which we are doing all these things so we don't have to deal with ourselves.
Yes. Yep.
Like we're just being busybodies,
Yeah.
just doing the most
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to have to sit with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sitting with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be closing in a couple of 5 minutes or so. What is the fear of sitting with you?
Oh.
Right? Like, just if you, that's just,
Oh.
what is the
That's a
fear?
whole podcast.
Okay, so you just
That's
dropped that.
that's
and
a
all
whole,
that's
that's a,
Exciting,
that's a whole
right?
separate podcast.
right.
It be, you know, and I think what I love about being authentically you, and that's one thing that I can say about you ladies, and I feel and I want to be as authentic as I can as well. But understanding, regardless of your title and who's looking at you, individuals love authenticity. Shantae gonna be Shantae wherever Shantae is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So with that, being able to show that or to share some of the moments of this is scary or I feel insecure in these moments, I think that's honorable.
Yeah.
So sitting, what is the fear of sitting with no distractions? That's something to think about.
It is. You want me to answer it?
One of y'all.
Okay.
I'll go after you.
Okay.
I'll go after you.
I was like, wow, that is such. And just so y'all know, out in podcast land, like this is so impromptu.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
right. This was not part of the script. This is so impromptu, but I love it because this is the authenticity
Yeah.
in action. But you know, like sitting with me, sitting with myself, the fear is that I am going to see something in me that I don't like, that really is difficult for me to know about myself, and I am unsure on how I'm going to respond to that. For me, that's the fear.
Yeah.
Ooh, that kind of hurt a little bit. Mm-hmm. That I felt that.
Yes, this is good. This is good, Angela.
I think, Ravella, you said it best. I have been groomed to be on the go all the time. The more that I did, the more that I do, the more successful I was. Things I were able to check off. The busier, the better. And so when I slow down, I think probably my fear of slowing down is that I don't recognize myself. And so it's almost like you've been running a long race. And at the end, you stop and you're trying to get your breath together. You're trying to get your thoughts together. That is the space of being in my head, in myself. And I think if you unwind that even more, to not think in that space, because which is why meditation is so hard for me, and I'm practicing it because I cannot turn my brain off. And so to your point, when I turn my brain off, who am I? And so maybe the fear that you can work through is, let's try it out and see what happens, right? But just doing that, just imagining doing that, I'm starting to stiffen up just thinking about it. But it is important, because if I think about the concept of alignment, I will not be able to truly align until I can sit with myself with no distraction.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't change what we don't know.
That's right.
100%.
That's right.
So we have to know. We have to know ourselves.
Yeah.
In order to change, and if we can't change, like alignment means that like there is a path,
Right.
and you have to line up, with that path or get as close to it as you can. And so, all of that's necessary
100%.
for alignment. Yeah.
I think many women in leadership or many women in general, they have a lot on them. They have a lot of hats. They wear a lot of hats.
Mhm.
They have multiple roles. I think the discomfort of sitting and doing nothing is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really don't know yourself. You've picked up so much to where everything else has defined you,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Everything else has defined you. So when you are sitting with nothing pulling at you, you have to learn how to define yourself. And that's where that relationship is. For me, that's why I'm like, I'm not doing this work on my own. Lord, where you want me to be? Tell me how to do where, right? Because we can mess ourselves up with trying to get into something or turning a page or opportunities. And we're going to talk about that. Every opportunity is not a great opportunity, right?
So true.
Yeah, but if you're not in alignment or if you're not really understanding what your next step should be, you can really mess yourself up. My fear, what I've been realizing over time, is, again, everything has defined me. And when nothing is there, I am working on this next chapter. And one of the fears is, am I ever going to find it? Right? What is that going to look like? And am I going to like it? Right? It's like, so this is good. This is good. This is good. So becoming oneself, I would say to our listeners, this is just the beginning. If we wanted to have or leave any thoughts to our listeners with your hope for them as we close our first episode of Becoming Oneself, if you had any thoughts for the listeners, what would those thoughts be?
Do it
Or
afraid.
hopes?
Mine would be do it afraid. Do it shaking in your boots and scared as I don't know what, but do it anyway.
I love it.
I saw a meme. Is that the right word?
Mhm.
Okay.
There you
When
go.
it's your okay. I saw a meme yesterday that said, "I give up," and then the response from God was, "Good. Now I can work."
Love that.
Love that. I love that.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
wow.
My thoughts as we close for the listeners is continue to push. Your struggle is not in vain. And as you become yourself, know that it is an evolving process. You ain't got to know it today. You may not even know it tomorrow, but trust the process. Trust that it will work out for your good.
Trust yourself.
Yes, and trust
Yes.
yourself.
Trust yourself.
Yes, and trust yourself. So, this is it, y'all.
Yes.
First episode, wrap that up. Wrap it up. I'm gonna need y'all to follow us on IG,
Yes.
She Speaks Podcast,
Yes.
LinkedIn, at the She Speaks Podcast. If you go to our IG page, you have our link tree that'll connect you to our YouTube channel. It'll connect you to our TikTok. Ain't nothing on it yet. We figuring it out, but still go and click and follow. Make sure you subscribe, you follow, you like, you share it with everyone else that you know. This is just the beginning. We so appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. She Speaks.
Yes.
It's a wrap. Episode 1.
Thank y'all.
We out.